Hey friend, hope you're well and welcome to my review of this new album by the Beths, Straight Line Was a Lie. Now, the Beths are this indie rock band from New Zealand who met at university to study jazz and hone their musical talent. Now, they've become one of my favorite bands in the past couple of years, ever since Expert in a Dying Field came out, only a few years ago now. Now, that album is flawless. It's 10 out of 10 and it's become one of my favorite albums of all time. So let's discuss their follow-up album, shall we? Now, this album, Straight Line Was a Lie, is ultimately this upbeat and adventurous album which talks about how life is never straightforward as people may think. People spiral out of control and they have to overcome obstacles. It also talks about how strong friendships make it easier, and the opening title track on this album talks about this perfectly, and it discusses this notion that, life is never as simple as people may think. And this song is just excellent, to be honest. It came out as a single a few days before the album came out, and it's got fantastic hooks, it's got great ad-libs from the rest of the band. The guitars and drums are on point as always, and it's just an overall really great track, especially one to open with. Similarly for Mosquitoes, the second track, I think that song has really good production and it builds itself up really well. And then you have No Joy, which is this simple but really catchy and fast-paced indie rock banger. It's not my favorite on the album, but I think it's just the song on the album that's meant to captivate you and get you dancing. And also on the track Mother Pray For Me, Elizabeth, the lead singer, gets really personal on this track, and the production is quite raw here, yet it's really beautiful as well. I think the lead single, Metal, might be one of the best songs on here. As soon as that song was announced and it came out, I thought, okay, we're onto a really solid album here if this is the lead single. This song's about finding a deep connection within yourself and the world around you. It feels like a really important song for the band as a whole. Each of the band members gets to showcase their skills on the song, and even throughout its entirety of, I think it's almost 5 minutes long, it just doesn't feel like a long song. It just keeps going. It keeps you hooked all throughout from start to finish. Now we're on to the second half of the album. Till My Heart Stops is a really nice song, but I think it might be my least favorite if I had to choose one. It just doesn't feel as memorable for me, but I think it does transition from Mother Pray For Me really nicely. Take was a song that really surprised me the first time I heard it. It features this slightly grungier sound, and it's not a sound that the Beths usually delve into, but I think it works really well here. The bass is absolutely fantastic on the song. It's definitely a highlight for me. The hook is great, and just the production all around is really good. Now, the production on this album was actually done by the guitarist Jonathan, which I think is really impressive. It really comes to show how far the Beths have come all the way from their first album. You can really tell that their story writing skills and their production have been taken up a notch on this album. But on the flip side to Take being this really grungy song, you have the song Roundabout, which is a bit more of a cheery tune, but once again, it features those fantastic ad-libs from the rest of the band, which I just can't talk about them enough. It's probably one of my favorite things about the Beths when I first started listening to them. Hearing those beautiful, delicate vocals surrounded by the rest of the band just coming in to sort of support and help out in the background with the backing vocals, it's just one of my favorite things about this band, and it really works so well. Ark of the Covenant is a really good song, and it sort of goes back to that point I made about this being an album that delves into adventure a little bit. Now, this song really showcases their glow up in story writing and narrative skills, and the lyrics just keep you hooked in from start to finish. It's a great song, probably one of my favorites on this album easily. I just really love how on this album you get those delicate vocals surrounded by harsh guitars, and then the drums just kick in and they get really fast, and especially the bass carrying the rhythm of the song as well. I think it's just fantastic here. Now, the last song, Best Laid Plans, is a great closing track. It almost feels really groovy, but this song is a bit more optimistic. It talks about growth. I think it talks about the band's future direction, where they're headed as people. And I think it just really sums up the album really well. I think overall, I was very impressed with this album. I wasn't too sure when the singles came out because they all sounded so different. I wasn't sure how it would work on an album, but I should have just trusted the process, because hearing all these songs from the first track all the way to the last track in order, it really elevates the songs and it makes them stand out very well. Overall for the band, I think this is a great step up in terms of production and story writing skills. I'm not sure if it beats my favorite, Expert in a Dying Field, just because that album is full of bangers. And yes, you do have some great bangers on here as well, but overall I think it's just more nice and delicate flowing album. The Beths are still easily one of the best niche indie bands out there right now in the world, and I would 100% recommend them if you're into the indie rock genre. I think this might be my second favorite album of theirs just because the production here is really nice, and if you listen to this album with headphones on, it sounds brilliant. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this brand new album, Straight Line Was a Lie by the Beths. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.